Hello everyone and welcome back to PSA. If you are new here, I'm Tanya, and if you've been with us for a while, thank you for being part of this journey. So this month has been a whirlwind of reflection. It's been a whirlwind of celebration and so much transition. April is full of milestones for our family. We are celebrating 10 years since we started our business in downtown LA. Felix and I will mark 10 years of marriage, 10 years on April 24th. And then my son Lion turns 6 on April 8th, which is just a few days away. And he also shares a birthday with my sister. And we're moving from our downtown LA loft to a new condo in Calabasas. But April also carries a weight of loss and reflection. April 3rd marks 4 years since my brother passed away, and April 29th marks the anniversary of my father's passing. It's been 11 years since he left us. Now, in the midst of all of the celebrations and new beginnings, these dates remind me of the pain and the loss that are also a part of our journey. So much has happened in this city that has shaped us, and I can't help but reflect on how far we've come. I walked into downtown LA as a young woman, a new believer, trying to figure out my life. And now, as I step into this next chapter, I feel like I'm leaving behind the pastures and stepping into the promise. It's been a decade of laying foundations, of facing challenges, and growing into the woman that God has called me to be. So as I reflect on this journey, I cannot move forward without acknowledging my husband. Felix, thank you. You have been my rock, my guide, my biggest encourager. You taught me how to be resilient. You taught me how to stay the course, how to finish what I start, and how to not be short-sighted. You have shown me how to see the bigger picture when I was tempted to quit. And God knows that was many times over. You've also been so patient through my growing pains and given me grace as God broke off my spirit of entitlement. You know, I didn't grow up with struggle. My parents came from a village in Tanzania, and they worked incredibly hard so that my siblings and I wouldn't face the hardships that they had endured. And because of that, building a life for myself with my own accomplishments, being in an uncomfortable environment, that was so necessary for me. It was necessary to break off fragility and forge a stronger character. And yes, I still dream of a soft life. Don't get me wrong, I love a soft life. But I have learned that it's not just about comfort. It's about who I am and whose I am. It's about my character. It's about biblical femininity, not worldly entitlement. Felix, thank you for bearing with me while God refined me and loving me through my stubbornness and my growth. You have truly shown me what it means to love without condition, and I could not have asked for a better partner in this journey. When I think back about our time in downtown LA, it's been a journey. It has been an adventure. We took this raw industrial loft, essentially a warehouse, and we turned it into a space where dreams come to life. We have hosted incredible events, pop-up shops for billion-dollar brands, and welcomed tens of thousands of people through our doors. From fashion shows to creative collaborations, this space has become a hub for visionaries, for dreamers, and for builders. But here's the truth. People often see the victory on the mountaintop without seeing the sacrifices that are made in the valley. Nobody sees the countless late nights, the days when we wondered if it would all fall apart, the sacrifices that we made to build something from the ground up. And it's so easy to look at success of other people and assume that it just happened overnight. But they don't see the exchange, the price that it takes, the price that we pay to build a legacy. Because building in the heart of downtown LA wasn't always glamorous, but it was worth it. It was an adventure that required resilience and faith and a willingness to stay when it would have been so much easier to leave. We made the decision to move to Calabasas to be closer to my work and frankly to be in a better school district so my son has an opportunity to go to school. It's a big shift from our downtown loft and our downtown life, but it's been so refreshing. So we still drive down to DTLA when we go to the studio and we have to create or host events for clients. So in a way, we get the best of both worlds. We've got the creative, energetic vibe of downtown when we're working and the tranquility of the mountains and the fresh air in Calabasas when we're at home. And it's lighter there, physically and spiritually. And Lion has the freedom to run around without us worrying about his safety, and the amenities and the open space and the hot tub make it feel like a space where we can breathe a little. When I sit there and I look at the mountains, it is such a reminder of God's faithfulness. Lately, I've been thinking about David, who was anointed as king, but he went right back to the pasture to tend sheep. Imagine being called to greatness, but still working in the mundane. That sometimes has been part of the journey in downtown. I'm going to read you one verse from 1 Samuel 16, verse 13. And it says, "So Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him," this is him anointing David, "in the presence of his brothers. And from that day on, the Spirit of the Lord came powerfully upon David." You know, even while hosting these incredible events and seeing the fruit of our labor, there were times that I felt, and I'm sure Felix felt, hidden. Like God had called us to something greater, but we were still just doing the work, waiting for the breakthrough. And here's what I have learned. Sometimes God calls you to greatness before your environment changes. The process of growing up in faith doesn't happen in the palace. It usually happens in the pasture. It's in the hard seasons, the hidden seasons, where God builds your character. And now for us, as we move to Calabasas, I feel like I'm stepping into the promise and the hot tub. Not because I'm leaving the hard work behind, but simply because we are walking into this next season more confident in who we are and whose we are. This move for us, it's more than just a new address. It's a symbol of a new season, a season where we are no longer who we used to be. And I am no longer the girl that's trying to figure it out, but a woman walking confidently in her purpose. So if you're in a season that feels like the pasture, or you're in the pit, or you're in the wilderness, do not give up. God is building you right where you are. Stay faithful, keep growing, and when the time comes, step into your promise without forgetting what shaped you. So let me know in the comments, what season are you in right now? And how is God preparing you for your next chapter? So if this message encouraged you, don't forget to like, to subscribe, and to share it with someone who needs a reminder to hold on. And until next time, let's love more, and I will see you at the next PSA. I don't know if you missed it, but we have a hot tub now and a pool, and we're really excited about it. If you want to hear more about our journey and our story over the last decade and our walk with God, definitely check out the playlist above. Felix and I have 148 messages for you and those around you. Share them with the first person that comes to mind, and we'll see you next week.